What it is, what it do, you tuned into the Jose Morales podcast. I'm your host, Jose Morales, and we're back in the ring for another episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode where I talked about communication. If you have not checked out that episode, go back to the previous episode and check it out. In this episode here, I got Ruben Torres with me. What's up, Ruben?
What's going on?
So I thought it would be good to get Ruben on and get people familiar with his story, how he started boxing, how he got to where he is now, what his goals are for the future, and get more familiar with his background. Those that know Ruben in the gym, he is one of our professional boxers here. He has a fight coming up August 5th where he would be the headline at the DoubleTree Hotel here in Sacramento. And what I wanted to get into this episode is get familiar with his story, see what how it all started, where he came from. So let's get going. First off, Ruben, tell us where you were born. Tell us, give me a little bit the 411 on Ruben Torres.
I was born in Sacramento, born and raised. I was just sitting out of trouble my whole life, but then bloopers already. I'm just messing with you.
What happened? This guy's getting nervous.
I'm just trying to think of what to say.
So you were born here? No, it's good. You're born here?
Okay, so yeah, I was
How many siblings, mom, dad together? Tell me about your home.
So I got 3 sisters. I was the only boy.
Yeah.
So man,
Oldest? Youngest?
All old. I was the youngest.
Okay.
So I used to get picked on a lot by my sisters.
Bro. Yeah.
They used to.
What's the age gap?
Honestly, it's like 5 years between each sibling.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, my next sister, yeah. So, pretty much, it's just,
Were your mom and dad married the whole time together?
Yeah, they're together the whole time. And then, pretty much I just grew up like, I had a real bad temper growing up. So I was always getting like fights and stuff like that. And just easily like, just to swing.
Yeah. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Baseball, and I used to fight in baseball.
So you played baseball most of your like childhood?
For 4 years when I was a kid, I played baseball. Yeah, my dad and my uncle were the coach. I played with my cousin at Talek.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only really sport I did. I tried basketball out here and there, and then after like I hit the teenage years, pretty much. I just started chasing girls, you know how it is.
Yes, sir. I know exactly what that is. Like,
you know how it is.
Especially in the teenage years.
Yeah, you start chasing girls.
And I talk about it, I talk to you about it. I think my downfall with me when I was competing was that,
Yeah.
There's people like, oh, I got into partying, I got into drugs, I got into alcohol, I got into that. My problem was I was into girls, So I know exactly, and that could be, we're talking about it laughing right now, but that's probably just as bad as everything else that I just named, because you start getting sidetracked, you start getting, you start losing focus.
It's literally an addiction, bro.
It becomes, it could be worse than a drug. It is.
It's a drug.
Yeah, and it comes with a lot of drama, and it comes with a lot of heat. So
a lot of debt.
Yeah, see? So let's talk about that. So what happened? So teenage years, you started getting
chasing girls, man. And
explain what that did to you, because I think a lot of people can learn from this. What did that do that became bad, that you were chasing girls? What happened?
I just got into trouble a lot. Man.
Like what? Explain. Give me something that happened, a story or something. What do you mean by trouble? Like trouble financially? Trouble like physically?
Well, I was younger, so it really wasn't financially like that.
So what happened?
I was just a kid, just getting in fights with, girls, dudes.
Yeah. You were the Sancho. This guy was Sancho.
Pretty much, I was just getting in fights a lot and at school. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's pretty much it, really. It's all it ended up to, just fighting and just getting kicked out of school. And then just after that, then I started like, I liked money. That's another one. I liked money a lot. So, my parents always spoiled me as best as they could, but I always wanted more. So, I mean, I tried, started hustling and stuff, and that went bad too. So,
yeah, explain hustling. What does that mean?
Just pretty much whatever you can do to make money. So
how old were you at this time?
I was, that's when I was like 9th, 10th grade.
Yeah.
10th grade.
So high school.
One of the new Jordans, you know what I mean? Yeah. Once that size, once you go past what, size 6.5, I think 8, just the shoe prices go up.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like I was always, I don't know, my mom always would always try to spoil me as best as she could, but I didn't want her, spending her money like that.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have it, and I know we didn't. So, and she would always try to. So I took it into my own hands to try to make, money. And
when went bad with that? What happened?
Shit, I was doing anything to make money, whether it was buying a car to sell it or whatever it took. I don't care. I'll buy lunch and sell it to somebody else. Like,
yeah, you're trying to find profit in anything.
Yeah, profit in anything, but then it led to other things like, then I went to marijuana, and then I went to other stuff, and then,
Yeah.
And it just led to that, and then ended up getting in trouble and caught up with the law and then here and there. And
your teenage years, now you're in trouble.
Yeah, teenage years, and then it just went on. It just went on until...
During this time, you weren't playing no sports?
No sports.
So you were just chasing women and getting money?
Getting money, chasing women.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way he said it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. I heard this one time and it stuck with me forever.
Getting money.
But you lose money chasing women, but you don't lose women chasing money.
You lose, what is it?
Man, you too damn, you asleep still.
Oh, man.
So just for the record real quick, this is we got here at 3:30 in the morning to do this podcast. So right now, everyone's dead asleep. This guy is dead asleep probably. And we're half asleep. And we found a way to do this podcast at 3:30. I was like, I think it's a good time to get him going just to promote his fight, get people more familiar with him. And with the schedules, and this guy, like he says right now, he's in love, he's ambitious. He's still the same way. He right now, when I talk to other athletes, even other professional boxers, this guy has a full-time job, has a family, and he still manages to train. And that right there, that's like 3 full-time jobs, because having a family is a full-time job. Having a full-time job and then boxing is a full-time job. So the fact that he does all these things and he still finds a way to squeeze in a podcast, we're like, when are we gonna do it? The only time that we could do it was at 3:30 in the morning.
3:30, and I'm here.
And he made it happen. It's just, that's the definition of no excuses. So shout out to you, man. How you feel about that? Doing something, because I know the very first time, and we're gonna get back to your story because we kind of caught in the middle, but at the very first time, one time you came to spar here and I told you come through at 4 or 5 in the morning, you're like, oh no, I can't do that. Remember?
Yeah.
So how do you feel now? Because we do a lot of things hella early in the morning.
Honestly, I got used to it.
You got used to it?
Yeah. So at first it was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But then I got used to it though.
So we'll talk about it. We're gonna get more into that. Another quick little story that I want to talk about that is when you want something, you find the way to do whatever it is. You lose sleep, you do whatever, but it's something you want.
Yep.
And recently, actually yesterday, I was talking to this kid here in the gym with Coach David. And Coach David really wants his kid to move up and so he can start sparring. So he wanted him to start training with the Warriors. And David brought me over to him, introduced me to him, and David asked him, what's holding you up from moving up? And the kid says it was money. He's like, hey, I don't have money, da 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 da. And then me and David looked at each other like, all you gotta do is speak up and say that. That's all you gotta say. So once we said we will help him and there's no problem, the money is not an issue, he said, oh, but in December, I'm gonna go to Mexico. I was like, it's July. Bro, that's like 6 months from now. What do you mean? Like, why is that holding you up? So then after that, he was like, oh, and then I don't know if I can make the times. I'm like, dude, we fixed the first problem. Yeah. Now we tracking the second problem. Now you got another problem. At the end of the day, you just don't want it.
You're just trying to find excuses.
You're just trying to find excuses. And that's something that I learned recently with like the summer camp that I did, right? 100% free, right? But at the end of the day, it was just about people not wanting to do it. It's not really a money thing. People buy shit all the time that they can't afford, but they buy it because it's something they want. So at the end of the day, it's how bad you want it. And this guy is a definition of that.
For sure.
That's why I wanted to have you on here is you got 3 full-time jobs and you still making a fucking way to be here.
No excuses.
No excuses. He's just getting a little camera shot right now and he's half asleep. So
I'll be late sometimes, but no excuses.
No
I
excuses.
still make it.
Yeah.
I
So
get off.
that was enough for my rant. Let's go back to a story.
Okay.
So you have this ambition to get money when you're young. It got you in trouble. What kind of trouble did it get you in? You
It's
said
the
law.
law, yeah, I
Was
went
it
to
was it like
jail.
was it like serious or was it like petty? Like what happened?
Shit, it was
Like a little slap in the wrist? What you mean by
at
got in
first when I
trouble?
was younger, it was weed. Yeah, it was a slap on the wrist. And then once I got out of school, it just turned into other things. And then after that, yeah, I went to actual jail, and then I was in and out of jail till I was 2012. Like, well, I was 21.
In and out of jail for little.
Just for little, like,
little shit.
just for little stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Not even in and out. Just like what, like 2 times I probably went to jail just
Yeah.
for something stupid. Then I was driving with my friends, and I was in the back seat of one of my friends' cars, and we were just driving down Broadway. Some dudes pulled up next to us, and they were just like, they started talking mess to my homie, and I was driving, and they were going back and forth, and all of a sudden the dude in the back seat of the other car, it's like 12 in broad daylight right there. It was back in the day, it was Food Source or right there, and they were just driving, and dude in the back just pulled out a gun and shot the whole car up. Pow, pow. The first bullet went by my face. It went through the window, and then after that, I just dug down, and I got shot in my chest. It went through my lungs and everything, and I went to the hospital, and pretty much I was there till Thanksgiving. I got out Thanksgiving Day. I'll never forget that day. After that,
This when you were like 22?
Yeah, 21, 22.
Yeah.
I got better. After that, I healed up. I was like 21, yeah. I healed, I got better, and my mom, she's always making a big deal about it. She's like, Mijo, you need to do something. Like, she's always worried about me. I mean, every mom worried about their son.
Yeah.
So she was just, you need to do something. You need to do something, stay out of trouble, you got to quit being a good, Because right after that, I was in the McDonald's, and something happened in the McDonald's drive-thru where somebody shot my car up.
So you're getting shot now left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all because of somebody you hang around with. And that's why I tell like all the kids nowadays, it's not about who you are. It's not about what you do. It's all about who you hang around with,
That's huge right there.
And that's what I tell I get to tell my story to the kids now in the boxing gym because you are who you hang around with. If you're gonna hang around with somebody with no money, chances are you're not gonna have no money. Yep. You're gonna be broke if you.
Exactly.
So
I was literally just talking about that yesterday with somebody. But it's 100% on, spot on.
Yeah.
You can say whatever, you're not, I'm not like them or whatever, but you're hanging out with them,
you're
gonna get assumed to be them, and you're gonna get shot just like them, regardless if it was you or not.
So
that's
yeah,
great advice.
That's what happened, and then after that, I got healed up, got better. My mom was always worried. She was like, "You need to do something." So she was all like, and back then I didn't have no money at the time, no jobs. She was like, "I'll help you out. We'll try to find like a little boxing gym." So I started boxing, and turns out I really liked it. And then it just went from going like a couple of times a week to just me going like every day, and then every day, and then I just stuck with it since. And it's
so what did you like about it?
I don't know, just help my day. Just it made me feel good after I slept good. My day, if I was frustrated throughout the day, I let my anger out in the gym. And then, it turned out that I was actually pretty decent. I wasn't like bad at it. So it's like finally, I got something that I'm kind of good at, so I just.
And it felt good.
Yeah, it felt
good.
good.
Accomplished.
Yeah, especially after training. I just felt good. So.
How long did it take until you got your first amateur fight?
I'd say about a year or two, couple years. Yeah, and then finally,
How many amateur fights did you have?
I'd say about like 16.
16 amateur fights?
Yeah, it was hard. It's harder to get amateur fights when you're older.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Talk about your amateur fights. What that was like? What was that like?
It was cool, actually. I was like 6-0.
Tell me about the first one. Your very first amateur fight. Let's take that.
Man, the first amateur fight was, I had my whole family there. It was crazy. And you're just nervous. Yeah, you're just gassed out like instantly.
Yeah, but just because of the nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Where was it at? You remember it?
It was at that place on Watt in Carmichael?
Oh, yeah. On where? Carmichael or what?
In Carmichael.
Gilbert's?
Gilbert's.
Oh, yeah.
Zaragoza?
Yeah. At the boxing.
Yeah, it was there. And then, I won my first fight. one guy, I had a winning streak to like 6-0, and then I went to go. We had a fight with some dude from Brentwood, and then I went and ate Denny's, but I ate too much Denny's, and yeah, it was bad. My stomach was messed up. I had diarrhea. It was bad, and I got into the ring. I didn't have no energy at all.
And that's when you got your first loss?
First L. Gave up that fight pretty much. Just I couldn't do nothing. I was just tired. I was sick.
Yeah.
So from the food. Too much greasy food. That's another thing. Tell everybody, don't eat too much greasy food after.
Yeah, Alex can relate.
Yeah.
One time he had some Chinese food before and he was feeling it.
Yeah, don't do that. Especially when your body's so used to like, eating clean, and then all of a sudden you just go to eating like shit the day of the fight. It's just bad. Don't ever do that.
So you had 16 fights. After that, you had 10 more fights.
Yeah, it was just hard to get fights as an amateur. I used to go to a lot of events and fighters didn't show up. Being Selena's didn't show up, just like that.
So what made you transition? Is that what made you transition to a pro?
No, I actually got robbed a couple times in a couple of my fights, and I'm almost older, and then at the time my coach was all like, "No, fuck that, we're done." And I was just like, "Fuck it, we're done then." Let's do it.
And that's something that's very common in boxing. That's actually why I talk about there's a certain phase in the Warrior program where I literally preach that, where you want to become numb, meaning don't let your emotions get the best out of you, because you're gonna get robbed, you're gonna lose, you're gonna win, you're gonna get hurt, your emotions are gonna get hurt, all sorts of things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you can't let those things distract you from your end goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but so how did you handle your times you got robbed? Like, how did you handle that? Were you pissed off? Were you okay with it?
No, I wasn't. I was upset, but the main thing I tell all these, especially all these kids here, that it's not about what the judges think. It's not about what the decision is. It's all that matters is what your coach thinks. If your coach thinks you did like ass, then you feel bad, Then, but if your coach thinks you did a good job, and there's nothing to be mad about.
That's some good advice. And you know what? I'll be real. You've been a great leader to a lot of the young kids here, and I've heard you say that to them at fights.
Yeah.
And another thing is you always show up and support them. So that's badass, Ruben.
Yeah.
But that's some great advice. Doesn't matter what the judges say at the end of the day is.
What your coach thinks.
Yeah,
that's
and
all
also
that
how you feel. What your coach feels, and I also think how you feel matters too.
Yeah.
So that's good. So then you 16 fights in, amateur boxing comes to an end. Explain to people that don't know what is the difference between amateur boxing and professional boxing, and what is the process to go from an amateur boxer to a professional boxer?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, the environment's different, you go from the weigh-ins, everything is all different, the whole setup's different, but the nerves go away. I don't know. For me, they went away. I felt more comfortable fighting without a headgear. It's just like,
some people say that.
Yeah, you just breathe. You could breathe more. You're just like, you're not. It's like you're claustrophobic almost. It's like.
Yeah.
But no, I felt better fighting without a headgear, and I don't know. Just like the events change. A lot of things change.
Yeah.
You become a little bit more.
What do you got to do to become pro?
For first of all, you gotta want. You gotta want to do it. You can't just. It's not about just I'm gonna go pro. If you get hurt, that's how people get hurt, thinking that they're just gonna go pro.
Yeah.
They're not ready for it. You gotta do a bunch of fucking. What is it? Oh, excuse my language.
It's all right.
You gotta do a bunch of tests, like an MRI, for that, and then like eye tests, drugs, everything. You gotta do a bunch of, and then you get pretty much just pay some money, go to the commission office, and then they give you a federal ID, and then after you've done all that, then you're ready to go, pretty much.
Yep. Do you know why I had you explain that?
Why?
Because some people don't understand that. Oh, it is a bunch of tests and paperwork.
Yeah, anybody can go pro.
Anybody can go pro.
You just got to be ready.
But that is why Ruben said you have to really dedicate yourself and really want this, because if not, you get hurt.
Because people don't realize that at the end of the day, when we jump in this ring, we're actually risking our lives.
Yeah, and you will get hurt.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you're not taking it serious, and it's not something you really live it. You know, at the end of the day, everything shows. You know, you can tell
for sure
how serious you take this. But yeah, so you transition to the pro career. Talk about your pro fights. You know,
they're actually pretty fun, man.
Yeah.
I like it. I like boxing a lot. Like I love this sport.
Which one is to this date now? You have how many boxing?
7 fights.
7.
5 and 2.
Which one out of those 7 is probably your favorite fight to date? Because you're not done fighting, so to date, which one's your favorite one?
That's a hard. I don't know. They're all of them actually pretty. All of them, even the L's, man, I took, you know, because you learn from them. You don't really take an L as a loss. Like one of them was a 2-week notice, and I was on PVC, and then the other one, I was at 147. That was my only fight at 147, and everybody that's seen that fight, you know, knows that I was winning. Just got tired, gassed out. I lost too much weight last minute. I was hitting mitts before the fight, and I felt tired.
Yeah.
I was just like, my body was depleted. I did whatever I could to make weight, and I barely made weight. Yeah, 147, I can't do it. I stick at 154.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I don't go to 147 no more, because of that. But yeah, that was my first one, and then the second one was against Trayvon Marshall. Felt pretty good too, because I did good. I just didn't do enough. But on that fight, he knocked out everybody right now. If you look at his record, he's like 15-0 or something like that. I don't know. And the only person he could knock out was me. Everybody else is a knockout.
That's good.
Yeah.
How do you what is your, why are you doing this? Like, why? What's the reason behind you? What's your motive? What's your drive?
Honestly, the sport. I love boxing, man. I love to fight. And I know for a fact I could still do something, you know. It just takes that. It's opportunities you get in life. You gotta take advantage of them. And I know for sure, I keep doing this, I'm gonna get another big opportunity to prove myself. Yeah. And I still do it for me, man. Like this is all I know. Like I've been doing this for what? How long now? Shoot, since I started boxing in 2014, so about 8 years straight. Every day after work, go straight to the gym. Like literally, I barely have it. And the only time I take time off is after fights. That's it. Yeah. But this
has been your life.
Yeah, literally. So it's like I don't feel sane not doing it. You know, it's like this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it until my body says no.
Yeah. Yep. What is one of the biggest things you've learned, or if you could change anything in your boxing career, what is that thing that you kind of be like, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have, what is that?
Travel more in amateurs. That's what I like about you. For all your amateur fighters, you take them not just California, you know what I mean? Utah, Seattle, stuff like that. When I was an amateur, I barely traveled. It was just Northern California. That's why I only had 16 fights within a lot of years, you know? It's like, there's some, you go to LA, like you were saying, you could fight every weekend, you know what I mean? But, you know, the position I was in and the place I was in, they didn't really travel, so I was just stuck.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, when I look at developing athletes and boxers, I try to compare it to other sports. And if you look at any sport at the top level, AAU, whatever, in basketball, baseball, whatever sport it is, they always travel. They don't just keep playing. Like top team, high school teams don't just play in Roseville. You know what I'm saying? They don't just play in San Francisco. They start traveling. So it's the same thing with boxers. You know, you got to get out, because if not, you will only end up with 16 fights.
Yeah, you got to get the exposure.
You have to get the exposure, and you got to go everywhere, and you got to do all these tournaments. Yeah. Regardless if you win or lose them, like you said earlier, you're going to learn from your losses. And yeah, I agree. So that's another good thing, all those athletes that are listening right now, especially those that are amateurs right now, is don't get caught up staying in the same spot for too long.
The key in boxing is, especially in amateurs, is experience. That's it. It's not about win, lose, draw. It's the experience. It's about, you know, how many fights you get. And
yep. So don't get caught up, I'm undefeated. I got 10 fights undefeated.
Records don't mean nothing in
It
amateur.
does not matter at all.
Just the experience.
But yeah, it's a good
So that way when you go to the pros, you don't have no butterflies, you don't got none of that. It's just another fight, you know? It's
you
just
ready
like,
to go.
all right, ready to go. You done fought them all, tall, big, small.
Yep.
You know, so you already experienced
You experienced it all.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now what is something that you're looking to do different in your August 5th fight that you didn't do in your last fight? What is something people can expect from Ruben?
I don't know, man. The guy might be watching. We're gonna have to come out with this video after the
fight. You don't gotta say detail, but what can people expect from you? You don't gotta give them your game plan, but
it's
what is something that they can expect from Ruben? Besides,
everybody likes to watch me fight. They like to put on a good, because I put on a good show.
Yeah, that's why you're the main event.
Yeah, everybody likes to watch me fight.
What happened last time? Everyone was upset you weren't the main event.
Yeah, because long story short, the crowd went bye-bye after I fought.
Yeah, the crowd went bye-bye.
So what was the question again?
No, what is something you're looking to do different, or something that you want to
in this fight?
In this upcoming fight, is there anything you want to be like, hey, I want to be slower with setting up shots. I want to be faster.
Pretty much.
I want to feel better. I want to. Is there
combos.
Anything? Yeah.
That's it. It was pretty much what my coach says.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
That's good.
It's just like you say, muscle memory. So I gotta practice on doing everything the same thing every day. It's boring after a while, but
he kind of gets a little upset.
Yeah, it's just. But if you do the same thing every day, your mind will get used to doing that in actual fight. So that's what I've been working on, a lot. Just need to throw more combos. That's it, just combinations. Other than that, and what comes with combos is more exciting fight, because I'll be throwing more punches.
Yep, that is good. So let's talk about how you ended up here. Let's talk about that.
All right.
Because I've met you a few times. We like hooked up for sparring. We seen each other at fights.
I came here at 4 a.m. one time for sparring too, and I wasn't here.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. We did that one time.
For David's fight.
Yep. And just for, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
One time, you did come one time. So Ruben, we were always cool. I always liked Ruben. And one thing I liked about Ruben, and I told you this when we talked, you always showed love. You were always cool. You never, and it's weird. Some people are a little weird when you're not in the same gym, or they have like the tension. You kind of feel it,
Yeah.
But Ruben was always solid. How did everything play out for you to that made you want to make the decision to come here? Like, how did that come about?
It was always in the back of my head. Well, I just seen how it was here. I seen how especially, every time that we ran into each other, you was always hella cool. So, but like, I seen how you treated your fighters. You know what I mean? I was just always in the back of my head. I was like, man, I wish I would have did that. I wish my coach would have did that for me when I was amateur. And travel more and do all these things. And pretty much just the way you train, the way it is here, the environment. Every time I seen you guys, I don't know, I just had in the back of my head, like, man, if I ever go to a different gym, it's gonna be there. You know what I mean? I have to go try it out there. So yeah, when I finally I stopped boxing for like a year. I was just dealing with a bunch of drama, and stopped boxing for like a year, and then like, man, I need to get back into boxing. So I was like, where am I gonna go? Like, shit, it's Roseville, but like that's the only place that I see myself, going.
Yeah.
And so I came here, I gave it a shot, and I was kind of nervous at first. I was like, man, what if he says no?
Yeah, because it was a little process, because you didn't start training right away.
No, I know. Yeah, I remember. And then you were just like, it was still like, 50-50, even though when I did talk to you, I was just like, man, just...
You remember what I told you?
Give me a shot.
Because it was like a month.
Yeah, you told me, you're like, all right, we'll see, you start having me come at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It wasn't okay. It was more of a we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't know how serious.
You wanted to see how serious I was.
Yeah, because look, I get people that come all the time that say they want to box, right? And then with you, I was like, how serious is this guy gonna be? And I'm like this with everybody, but with pros, I wanna see what your intentions are of really doing this, and if it's worth my time.
Yeah.
Because if I invest time in you, it takes time away from everybody else.
Yeah,
Not saying that's bad, or good, but I
No, but
want
you
to
want
make
it to be
sure
worth it.
it was worth it. Yeah. And that's what I had to think about because I said no to a lot of people before.
No, for
And
sure.
and what made me say yes to you is your attitude and the way you carried yourself, you know, and it made me really be like, you know what, I'll give this dude a try and I want to see it. And that's why I tested you with 4 a.m. and I tested you with the running because I'm like, if you can't do this time in these runs, then it's not gonna work. Because I already know how I am and it's not gonna work.
And then you were having me spar with everybody for like 12 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I was testing him. He was really
passed.
And he was really about it. But yeah, you did great. I'll be real, man. You passed my expectations. I didn't think you would be this dedicated.
Yeah.
You know, this dedicated and keep up with everything. You're a really good leader, a good teammate to the young kids.
Thank you.
You are, and plus, like I said, you're holding up a job, a full-time job, and not an easy job. This fool always shows up with cuts, I'm damn near gonna lose a finger one day.
Right here.
Burns.
Burned my head the other day too.
What do you do? Explain what you do full-time so people know.
I do roll-up doors and dock equipment, but this past couple of weeks I've been doing mainly dock equipment, and it requires a bunch of welding and torching. So all day I'm in the sun just sitting there torching out old docks, welding in new docks, and I travel a lot. So like I'd be like somewhere in Fairfield or Stockton. Like the other day I was in Winters and I wasn't able to make it here in time, but I still went home and ran 4 miles and hit the bag and did my workout and stuff at my house. And I sent him on my
And that's I love that he said that because that right there is the difference. When you can't make it to the gym, that's fine. You can't make it, but you can still run.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in the gym to run.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that separates the people that are serious and the people that are not serious. Because it's easy to be like, hey, coach, I can't make it today. Put the phone down, lay down, and go to sleep.
Yeah,
but it's different to be like, hey, I really can't make it, but, you know, I'm going to get my miles in.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And that's what you do, you know. And I respect that. If you communicate it and you show me that you're really trying to make it happen, you just couldn't make it, bro.
Yeah, it's working late sometimes.
Yeah, we'll keep it going.
Yeah, so, and then like I got a time set, so like every job I go to, I make sure like I gotta leave by this time to make it to my house by this time, and then once I get home, cause I drive straight home in my truck, and then I get home, I just run in the house, get ready real quick, run out, grab my bag, and bam, hit the road.
And how far are you from the gym? He's not around the corner. Explain your drive. Explain where you at. Explain everything.
Yeah, I'm in like pretty much Midtown area, well, South Sac. Yeah, so it's like a good 45, 50 minutes
with traffic and 4 or 5 p.m.
25 to 30 minutes with no traffic. Like right now, I got here in 25 minutes, but I was going like 90, I ain't gonna lie. With traffic though, I'm like a good 50 minutes, an hour to get here after work. So like I gotta get to my house by like at least, like I gotta leave my house by at least like 4:20 to get here at 5:20.
Yeah.
So, and he starts at 5:15. So I try to leave my house by 4 o'clock, but if that don't, you know, worst comes to worst, the latest is like 4:30. That's my mark. And I have my navigation, the route changes every time because of traffic. So I always type it in no matter what. I mean, I know how to get here, but I just type it in my phone just in case an accident. So sometimes it takes me down Y, sometimes it takes me down Howell, sometimes it takes me to the freeway, or sometimes it takes me some. Like yesterday, it took me some crazy way. It told me to get off on Riverside.
Oh yeah,
and go down
the back roads.
Yeah,
foothills.
Yeah, there must have been like an accident or something. But yeah, it made me take the.
That's cool.
Yeah, so.
There's a question I got. They wanted me to ask you. How do you feel representing in the gym when you fight?
Oh man, it feels great. Look at me. I try to buy every shirt that comes out. You know what I'm saying? This one's the 4th of July edition.
The 4th of July. This is the Make America Great Again edition.
America.
Yeah. Hey, that shirt is hard though. I love that shirt. I wore that on 4th of July. Yeah. So what about it feels great?
Oh man, just like, because what do you like about it? Your name, man. It's like representing a place that has a bad name is like something where you're like, oh fuck, I don't know if I should be saying this name here.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, but your name's good, so it's like the gym's a great, you know, it's a great. Everybody knows your gym as being a great gym, so it just feels good coming out of a good gym, you know, a great gym and a great place, and representing it feels good representing your gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows.
I'm gonna say something about this. Do you remember when you first came over, when you sent me a text and you were like, "Hey, is it okay if I put it in my bio?" You
Oh
remember?
yeah,
You remember?
yeah.
So when you said that, it made me look at everything different. Not different, but it made me realize how proud and how bad you wanted to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not for sure.
And it just shows because there's people that put it in their bio, there's people that don't. None of them is forced. Like I didn't text you, "Hey Ruben, you better put this in your bio, or I don't want your training here." You know what I'm saying? On your social media. But it's something that came from the heart, from within you on your own.
Yeah.
And you do that with everything else. You do that. Like I didn't tell you to wear this shirt today. I didn't tell you to do this. I didn't tell you. That's all that's coming within yourself by you. Like the taco thing you did.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you come out here and start cooking up tacos for everybody. That's something that came from you.
Yeah.
And when you drive love out of pure just kindness, just because that's something that's from your heart,
Yeah.
people do that back to you. So when it's come fight time and all that, how many people show up to your fight?
Yeah.
A lot. How many people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe in karma a lot. So like, you do good things will come. Good karma, and do bad, you're gonna have bad karma. So so most of the time I'm always trying to do good and go out my way for everybody else. My girl hates it.
He said my girl hates it.
You're always trying to do good.
Shout
for
out
people.
to Corinne, by the way.
Yeah.
You better say her name. Corinne. No, I'm playing. And she will light his ass up too, by the way. She boxed, and I be watching them slap box sometimes, and I be worried.
She be catching me. Ow. But yeah, no, she because I always go out the way to help other people, like especially my family, my mom, everybody else. It's like even with people that if I know you're a good person and I know you mean good, I will help you. If I got it and I know it'll help you, I will help you.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm the same way about that. I 100% agree.
Good karma, man. One day I'm gonna hit that Powerball, boy.
Yep. And how do you feel about? We're gonna talk about that because we're actually gonna be in LA next week, and tell them why you say the Powerball thing. Go ahead.
Everybody always wins in LA. Everybody always wins, so I'm gonna hit up all the gas stations and find Powerball tickets everywhere.
This guy's a gambler. He loves scratchers. He loves Powerball.
You should see my truck. It's horrible.
Yeah, I actually just hit like 170 on scratchers 2 days ago.
I bought 5 scratchers the other day, $20 ones. I spent $100.
That's what I did.
I'm like, I gotta win out of one of these. I didn't win shit on all of them. And the guy that I was working with, he was like, I'm gonna go buy the next one.
And I
was like, nah, because I spent all I had was $100 cash, and the place didn't take card. They only took cash. So he was like, I'm gonna go buy the next one. He went and bought the next one and won $200. I was like, you motherfucker. But he's cool though. He's like, here's $40, bro. You didn't have to give me that, but
that was nice of him.
Yeah, that was nice of him, but you asshole.
How do you feel about, this training camp? You're gonna go to LA. We actually got sparring in LA, and then we're gonna be in Vegas for sparring.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that? Are you
excited?
Great.
I feel great, man. It also, it just makes you it makes you feel like the fight's gonna, you're actually gonna be, what's the word? Like
ready, confident.
Well, for sure, ready, and get your confidence is up. You know what I mean? Because you're not just sparring, just regular people in your hometown. You're Sacramento got some good fighters, but it's also seeing what is it? There's a whole bunch of different styles in boxing. There's especially with high and everything like that. So just to get the feel out to spar other people, especially people that have a lot of experience, it's gonna make me feel real confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's where it can become. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, it is. It is. I'm excited for the sparring. I'm excited for the training, for the experience. But it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. I had someone ask me that why red and blue? Why'd you pick these colors?
Oh, because David already had purple and black, man, and I know you like the Kings, so I was all like, man, I'm gonna do red and blue. We're gonna throw it back.
Okay. Look at this guy thinking of me. Oh, so sweet. He said, I know you like red and blue.
I'm a nice guy, man.
Yeah, nice man. And again, nice. It's not even my night. It's your night. You can do whatever you want. You want to wear pink? Well, I wear pink with you.
But I like, honestly, my mom's favorite color was royal blue, and I like mine's like turquoise and teal and colors like that. So I like that kind of blue. That's like my favorite color. And but Nah, like
But
I like the Kings too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I grew up a Kings fan, die-hard Kings fan with my dad. But then, like as I got older,
Did you become a Warrior fan
nah,
too?
hell nah. I just my mind, hell nah. My girl's a Warrior fan, bro.
Hey,
That's what we be slapboxing over.
Give him the favorite. What is that great?
Oh man, and I witnessed it myself. I didn't believe it, but I witnessed it myself.
What? Explain to all the young Warrior fans out
every
there.
Warriors fan was once a Kings fan. I didn't believe it until I seen the Kings blanket in the closet of a Warriors fan. What is this?
and when you found the blanket, the King's blanket in the Warriors house,
I put it on video to make sure I got him on, put him on blast, you know.
And then what did you tell him?
I said to this guy, and I told him, I was like, he was right. He was right. I didn't believe it. He was right.
And what did they say? That's when they had Bibi.
That's when they had Bibi. That was the best. Man. That was the best.
I told you.
No, but I grew up a Kings fan with my dad. We used to go to all, like, it's cool that Bobby Jackson goes here because I used to, like, actually one of the times I went to, like, an event where he was signing autographs and stuff, and me and my dad waited in this long-ass line just to get something signed. I remember I spilled barbecue all over. I went to the barbecue truck and accidentally dropped it all over myself. That's how I'll never forget that day. But, like, we went to all the little meet and greets. But then, you know, I mean, as I got older, I started, like, from sports, I started going the bad route, which didn't lead me nowhere. And I stopped paying attention to basketball, and then the Kings started losing, and then it kind of.
But you're back now.
There. I'm back, you know. I'm back.
Light the beam.
But like the beam now. But I still really ain't into basketball like that. I still really ain't into basketball. I like the Kings. I'm a Kings fan. I'm not a diehard Kings fan like you.
But I'm a Kings fan.
I don't watch it a lot, and I never liked another basketball team. Yeah. If I was to like another basketball team, it'd just be somewhere because half my family's from Denver. Mm. So
oh, come on, get out of here! Just won the championship. Now he's a Denver fan.
No,
I'm playing.
No, not even that. Like even with the Broncos, like that. Like
you got family in Denver.
Yeah, I got family in Denver.
So you got a soft spot there.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
But I'm mainly a Niners fan and a Kings fan. So.
Yeah. Yep. Niners fan. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But no, I'm joking.
Going to the Niners and Cowboys game, man.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
so we talked about that. I think we tackled everything, but I'm gonna ask one thing before I get into random questions. If you can give anyone advice, what advice would you give them? You know, it could be boxing advice, it could be life advice, whatever advice you want to get to the people out listening. What advice would you give them?
Shoot, I don't know.
Play the Powerball in L.A.
That's right. That's true.
What is it? You don't got no advice for them?
Chase your dreams, man. Don't give up. That's the main thing. People give up. They have a bad day and you give up. You stop. Just because you have a bad day don't mean. I mean, the best people, you know, that are the best in the world have bad days. Everybody has bad days. There was days where I got my ass kicked in sparring, but I couldn't go to sleep at night because I was just trying to figure out like, how am I gonna get this dude back? Like, what was he doing that I can get the best of him? And I would continue to work until I got better than that person. You know what I mean? You never stop chasing your dreams because of a bad day. That's it. You know, I see that a lot where a lot of kids, they just have one bad day and they're like, oh yeah, this shit ain't for me.
Yep, I quit.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm gone.
I'm done. No, fuck that. It's gonna take bad days to make, you know, a great one. You know what I mean? And that's my advice.
I agree with you. That's some dope ass advice.
Yeah.
I like that. How is it? You have your 3 jobs. One of them is your family. You have 2 daughters. How is it managing daughter time and family time, work time, boxing time, you time? That's a whole lot of. How do you manage that in 24 hours?
Get your kids into boxing. So that way I can come to the gym with you for one. and then make them watch it with you so that way they want to watch it. So that way on your free time you're like, hey, let's watch. You want to watch some boxing? She's like, yeah, let's watch. Nah,
he's not lying. Yeah, he does have his daughter in here. I'm like, man, this fucking guy.
She be up in here. My 8-year-old comes up in here. She likes it. She used to do jiu-jitsu, actually. I had her in jiu-jitsu. And so with that, she stopped. She's like, I want to just do boxing. So she comes into boxing with me some days when I have her. And then my 3-year-old, I got her into like watching boxing. So I'd be like, we'll just be chilling, laying down on the couch. I'm like, what do you want to watch? I want to watch Pow Pow. I want to watch Pow Pow. That's what she calls boxing. And I'll put on something. She'd be like, no, Pow Pow. And then she liked that movie Creed, the new Creed movie. So she always wanted to watch Creed. She wanted to watch. She liked the parts where they were fighting, especially. So yeah. Other than that, though, like as far as like spending time with them, I don't have time for myself. So I never have like time for myself. So everything I do is like for my kids, pretty much. So like all my free time is just my kids, pretty much. My weekends, if I'm not boxing, I'm with my kids. That's it. We go to the lake or something, do things.
Yeah.
I try to spend as much time with them as possible. Take my dog for a walk every night with them. Just try to be in their lives as much as possible because I'm always gone. So that's pretty much the only thing I can really do. They like to be on the water a lot, so I try to take them on the water a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. Yep, and his youngest loves French fries.
Yeah, French fries.
French fries.
You can kidnap her with some French fries. Random person, don't pull up with no candy. Be like, I got French fries.
And she gone.
She's gone. She's yours.
Yep. All right, let's get into some random questions now. So you're gonna go hang out, eat somewhere, go eat. Where would you go? What's your spot to go out to eat on a Saturday night?
If I wasn't fighting?
Yeah, you're not fighting.
I like seafood. I like seafood though.
All right, where you going? What's your spot?
Shoot, whatever. Honestly though, I got lots of spots, man, for seafood. No, I got like 2 or 3. I like boiling crab's good, of course. There's Chasen's in Elk Grove, but I like Station 16 is my favorite. Yeah. It's just a little bit more pricier, but that's my favorite spot right there.
Station 16?
Yeah.
What do you like there?
The lobster mac and cheese.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it's
it's fire.
Yeah, I like seafood.
Yeah. All right.
Other than that, if I'm fighting especially, I try to eat seafood. But if I'm not fighting, I pig out, man. I could eat. Yeah. I could eat, so.
Yeah, you're always posting food.
Yeah, food. Tacos.
And your tacos were pretty good.
Tacos, man. I know all the taco spots in Stockton, man. Every corner, there's a taco truck out there. But there's only like 2 or 3 good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Growing up, who's someone you idoled, or who's one of your role models, or somebody you looked up to growing up? Is there anybody?
Nah, my dad for one, cause for sure my dad. He was a hard worker. My dad always, no matter what, he worked. He worked, but so there was a lot of, we weren't the perfect family, but as far as like the work ethic, I feel like I got it from my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I always looked up to him. They always took care of me as best as they could. We didn't have it, but they always took care of me as best as they could. So that's who I looked up to the most, my dad.
Hell yeah. How can people stay connected with you? If people want to follow you or connect with you, how can they stay connected with you?
Man, come to the gym, work out together. I don't know.
You have Instagram or anything?
Yeah, I got Instagram, Ru_916. You can hit me up on there.
That's it. Anything else not allowed? Corinne said no.
Yeah, she said no.
She said no.
Yeah, I can't give my phone number out. My girl be tripping. By the way, if you do, don't call me past like 5 o'clock.
Hey, you about to get in trouble for that.
Look at this shit. No, it's not her. Let me start my alarm real quick. Wake up, Ruben.
That was actually her calling.
That was my alarm. But
all right. So
it's just Instagram, and then if I'm at the gym every day. Come hang out and try the gym out. It's a great place to be. Honestly, like the vibe, everything here is just great. Like some gyms you always find like a bad vibe. You always find that like there's always that one thing. But I have yet to find something bad about this place. It's always just everybody here just is awesome. Like this is dope. It's a good vibe.
What is the biggest difference you think? Because you've seen a lot of different gyms. What do you think is the difference?
The structure. Like as far as like all the levels, like what is it? The Attila and the Impeller. Like you really gotta work to get it. It's not just something that's like, okay, here's your book, let's go fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta show me, toward discipline. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people have discipline. Like you probably get these kids sometimes that were just spoiled brats and they were raised like that didn't have no kind of structure, and then here you are trying to give them some structure. You know what I mean? But that right there is gonna make these kids better. That's what, and and it teaches them. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's
So
true.
that way, if they do, if they ever leave here, they have some kind of structure. You know what I mean? They kind of have some kind of like confidence in coaching. And working with becoming a people person. Because
Yeah,
you at the end of the day, you're gonna make all these fighters deal with people.
yeah,
And I think that's what I help me too. Just the gym.
yeah. Yep, for sure. That is dope. That is dope. Do you have anything else you want to add before we end the podcast? Anything you want to say or
Um,
anything?
no,
How,
I mean,
how can people get tickets to your fight?
I am always busy, man. Like you said, I got 3 jobs. So, but come to the gym, Jose Morales Boxing Academy, and we have them at the front desk.
Cool.
Other than that, you can hit me up on Instagram, and I gave some to my parents. My girl got some, and you guys can meet up with them if you're in South Sac area, and they will be more than happy to meet with you to sell some tickets.
Yep. Sounds good.
Other than that,
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope to see you guys August 5th for Ruben's fight. If not, I will see you guys on the next episode, which will be in a couple weeks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We out. Deuces.